Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and you're watching Break the Fake. They make them, we break them, and tell you everything you need to know. Now tonight we need to talk about a diplomatic gem that emerged from the ever-entertaining Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, courtesy of their spokesperson, Maria Zakharova, who is now suggesting that Poland, Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia built their proposed barrier against alleged threats from Russia and Belarus with the spikes facing inward. Yes, you heard that right. Spikes facing inward. Zakharova's suggestions are entering a level of abstraction that seems unreachable to other human beings. We tried looking for an instruction manual for Zakharova's posts, but unfortunately it seems to have been misplaced. So it is really difficult to say what the spokesperson of the Russian Foreign Ministry had in mind. Zakharova's barbed response came in the wake of Poland and the Baltic states calling for a defense barrier to protect the EU from military threats and other harmful actions coming from Moscow. Meanwhile, in the land of more down-to-earth observations, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz commented on Vladimir Putin's continued war efforts. Scholz noted that the Kremlin's so-called peace plan is something that Ukraine could not survive. Put simply, it is a peace plan that offers everything but peace. Something like offering a drowning person a glass of water or a slab of concrete. So, to sum up, Russia's Zakharova is suggesting EU countries protect themselves by turning their defenses inward, which is about as logical as handling your car keys to a toddler. And Putin, according to Scholz, is still firmly on the warpath, offering peace plans that are one part ceasefire, two parts annihilation. Now, in this bizarre global theater, it is almost comforting to know that some things never change. Russia continues to master the art of the absurd, and the rest of the world just watches on, popcorn in hand, wondering what on earth will they come up with next. And now, it's time for everyone's favorite Russian propagandist, Vladimir Solovyov. We should say comedian, really, at least an inadvertent one. In his latest bout of verbal runs, Solovyov declared that he would wipe Odessa, Mykolaiv, Kharkiv and Kiev off the face of the earth. Ah yes, nothing says peaceful intentions like casually advocating for the total destruction of major cities. It's almost as if Solovyov woke up one day and thought, how can I be the worst possible human being today? And then, unfortunately, he absolutely nailed it. So let's break it down, shall we? Solovyov's idea of diplomacy is essentially the plot of a third-rate action movie where the villain's only strategy is mass destruction. It's like someone handed him a microphone and said, go on, say the most horrifying thing you can think of, and true to form, he delivered. Now, while Solovyov is busy playing armchair general, the rest of us are left wondering, does he realize that threatening to obliterate entire cities is not exactly a great way to win hearts and minds? It's almost as if he's trying to speedrun the How to Become a War Criminal tutorial. In the real world, even Russia's allies are probably rolling their eyes. They must be thinking, sure, we wanted a bit of chaos, but this is, a bit over the top. It's like inviting someone to a potluck and they bring a live grenade instead.
Тут меня упрекали, что я призвал уничтожить Харьков. Дав, правда, сначала 3 дня на вывод всех жителей. А потом сказать, будет уничтожен. Я вам скажу, после сегодняшнего злодеяния я бы стер с лица земли Одессу, Николаев, Харьков и Киев. Я дал бы 3 дня жителям, чтобы покинуть эти города. 3 дня. После чего нанес удары. Потому что именно с Одессы и Николаева наносятся удары по Крыму. Именно из Харькова используют как базу, наносятся удары по Белгороду. И именно Киев является тем центром, где принимаются все решения.
So, while Solovyov dreams of leveling cities and sowing chaos, the rest of the world can take solace in knowing that such deranged fantasies are far from reality. In fact, as far from reality as Solovyov is from winning a Nobel Peace Prize. In the meantime, let's hope he sticks to spouting his venom on TV rather than having any real influence on Russia's military strategy. For now, we turn our gaze towards the Korean peninsula, where the latest antics of North Korea make your local prankster look like a rank amateur. Yes, I'm talking about the great balloon fiasco at Incheon International Airport, one of the busiest international airports in the world, brought to a standstill for 3 hours because of balloons filled with shredded paper. It's like a toddler's birthday party gone horribly wrong. And who do we have to thank for this airborne littering campaign? None other than Kim Yo-jong, the younger sister of Kim Jong-un, who seems to have taken up the role of North Korea's chief nuisance officer. Her official titles might be more grandiose, like member of the Politburo and head of the propaganda department, but really she's just turned into a glorified party planner, and not a very good one at that. Now, this stunt is emblematic of the bizarre and petty efforts the North Korean regime will embrace to annoy its neighbors. It's as if they are conducting a social experiment to see how much irritation they can cause before the rest of the world just collectively sighs and rolls its eyes. Ultimately, the joke is on them, because all they really achieved was a few hours of air travel delays and a lot of people shaking their heads in disbelief. North Korea, the world's most annoying neighbor, constantly raising the bar of absurdity. Now, remember the attack on Russian-occupied Crimea that took place on the 23rd of June? Since the strike attack, Russian propagandists and authorities have been working overtime, pushing the claim that it was a Ukrainian terrorist attack targeting Russian civilians. Russian propagandists know full well that Ukrainians only strike military targets and that Crimea is packed with them, including military bases and airfields. The thing is that the Russians are deliberately building recreation and cultural centers for civilians nearby to provide the necessary cover and human shields if need be. Let's take a look how Russian propagandists are talking about the recent attacks in Crimea.
Удар вот именно по пляжу – это что? Это есть срыв нашего туристического сезона. Они пугают таким образом всю страну. Почему? Потому что в Крым едут из всех регионов России отдыхать люди. То есть это повышение ставок. И мы должны на это отвечать. И, скажем так, вот этот теракт еще раз показал, что это теракт не против Крыма, это теракт против всей России.
Сейчас, понимая, что Крым и Крымский полуостров сам по себе является нашим символом, это курортный регион, посеять панику, нанести какой-то удар, который потом можно очень хорошо в рамках специальной операции, психологической операции, они всегда это делают, обратите внимание, либо до мероприятия, либо после, и то, что происходит на земле, они сейчас начинают качать через разные телеграм-каналы, через структуры. Посмотрите, что мы не справились, мы виноваты. То есть вызвать недовольство нашим политическим руководством.
First thing we need to clear up, however, since the Russians are claiming that Ukraine is trying to strike terror into the hearts of poor Russian beachgoers, time to get a look at the map. Crimea is Ukraine and was only annexed by Russia in 2014, so the people moving there from all of Russia are the ones who have no problems with striking fear into the hearts of civilians. After all, what happened to the local Ukrainians who have been living there prior to the annexation? Any guesses? Well, just leave Crimea, stop killing Ukrainians and destroying Ukrainian cities, and spend your summers elsewhere in your beautiful empire. That is the piece of advice that I would give to the Russian population. Now, to close out today's episode, we'd like to show you a video from the Ukrainian front line. Just imagine that you're a soldier hiding in a dugout from enemy artillery. So, what can go wrong? Well, let's find out.
Що робиться на єбаному Донбасі? Мужик купає картошку, їбать. Доброго дня. А вам не страшно? Пиздец. Бля.
It's the sad reality of the Ukrainian population in wartime. War is war, but it's the summer, and digging up potatoes can't wait. Life, as they say, must go on. And so, we end this episode of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.